Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. It's been a few days since we did this beam build up here where we added a couple 2x6s and bolted it in. And we've removed the jack that we had up here. The ceiling is way flatter. Still a little bit of a deflection, but I mean it's within what you'd expect on an old house or any house on a 13-foot span. I decided, since we're going to be putting storage areas up here with some plywood flooring over the insulation for storing some tubs and some bins, nothing super duper heavy, furniture, anything like that, but we will be kind of crawling around up in there, walking around, storing some stuff. We thought it would be a good idea to add a little bit of rigidity to that floor system. We have essentially 5 joists. They're in 16 centers. And we have 5 joists going from here over to this corner over here. And we've got some 2x6 8-footers that we're going to just put in the middle. There's a little bit of deflection. We only have one really bad one over here that I'll show you a picture of it. The joist has got a big, huge knot in it. It's got a crack in it. And that one has allowed to sag even more than these other ones that maybe are deflecting maybe a 1/2 inch. This one's got a little bit more deflection. It would definitely show up on the ceiling after we're done with the texture and paint. So I'm going to just, all 5 of these joists, we're just going to take the pressure off them with the jack, with the same kind of dead man post that we made. We're going to sister some 2x6s onto those to essentially double the strength through the center of those joists, so we have a little bit better situation for storage up here, and just long term keeping this ceiling from sagging down anymore. And so that's what we're going to be working on today. Okay, we're up here in the attic. This over here is that beam buildup we did to support the rafters running perpendicular the other way. And it's this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Those are the joists that we're going to reinforce. Number 4 right here, let me zoom in. That's the one I was saying had the biggest downward bow or sag. And it's because of it's got a weak spot right there, mid-span, with a big knot and a crack in it. So that's the one that, I was the only one I was really concerned about as far as structural integrity. These other ones just have 60 years of sag in them, and we're just going to make everything stronger so that we can put down some plywood after we get the insulation, and have this be a nice area to store stuff without worrying about further deflection or cracking our drywall, mud, or something like that downstairs in the kitchen. My new lumber is 5.5 on the nose, maybe even just about a 1/16 over, or 5 9/16. This here is 5 1/4. So you can see this is not going to slide underneath that without putting a notch in it that'll allow me to flip this up and clear this edge. So I'm just gonna, it might create a tiny little bit more weakness in that one spot, but I don't want to try to pull up this knee wall or cut all these cripple studs to try to put these sisters in. So we're just going to make a notch in that spot. I want to sight down these boards and determine which side has the crown. I want to make sure, I'll look for the crown crown is, the top of the crown's on this side. I'll mark that with an X to make sure that I put the crown upwards. So I want to make my notch for that knee wall base on this top side, because you don't want to put the crown down when you're trying to take sag out of a ceiling. You want to put the crown up, because that's going to give you the most rigidity, pushing downwards, and help fight the sag that's already there. Transfer those to that top edge. Got the saw gauge to 1/2 inch. So I'm going to go up, and then I'll tell you to pump on it.
Okay. Okay. Hand this up. Okay. And stand right there. Got it?
I say we stop right there. Thank you. I'll go ahead and get this screwed off.
Screw it off and yell.
Okay. One down. Okay, it's the next morning. Just finished screwing in all these sister joists. There's 5 of them. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. We got those all screwed in. Spanned the midsection of all these kitchen ceiling joists We pushed them up with the jack. We fastened these in really good with lots and lots of screws. So now we can put our plywood up here and have a little storage area without worrying about further sag on that ceiling. It really added a lot of rigidity and made that ceiling a lot flatter. So when we get that textured and painted, it's going to look a lot nicer. So yeah, a little bit more work up here to do, but for the most part, we're almost ready to get this insulated and put down our storage boards, our flooring board. As another little side project to the sistering that we just did to strengthen and stiffen this floor, the ceiling rather, for some storage and just to take the sag out of the ceiling, I'm going to also address these areas. I'm going to add some, I don't know what they're called, sistering blocks or bridge blocks or something. Some of them are broken, some of them are cracked, some of them are just not done very well and not nailed very well. This one I've already fixed. I put a nice long one there because these two joists were kind of twisted out against each other at the top, and I clamped everything and brought everything in nice and plumb, and then screwed it up really good to give more support there and to keep these from twisting over time. So I'm going to work on cutting some nice new blocks, getting these nails pounded down flat, and installing some new blocking there. Make this look nicer and be stronger. I found that if I try to just pry these blocks off with a crowbar, these old nails are holding so tight to everything that it takes so much pressure that it'll actually crack or split or cause damage to the primary joist. So what I have to kind of do is just pry it back enough where I can get my Sawzall nail cutting blade or my buzz cutter down in there and try to cut those nails off so I can remove these blocks to put a new one in, because a big crowbar is just going to mess up your joists, and we don't want that. Okay, well, we got all these sister blocks in here, these tie blocks, whatever they're called. And we use 4-footers and 3-footers because that actually helps spread the load out on these joists a little better, because we will have a piece of plywood down here for some storage. Just stiffen that up as well, like we stiffened up over on this side with all these joists for a storage area and to level everything up a little bit better. So pretty much done with the section of the attic. Subscribe for DIY renovations, creative design, and to join our journey. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.